3 years, 3 months, and 3 days. Lore content for future Bayonetta games have been confirmed. 12th of March, 10:15 AM, 2021 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Urser posts this strange unidentified flying object on Twitter. A beautiful, gorgeous find. This was the object that was subtly hidden in the moon that Balder destroyed. 12th of March, 1:51 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Over 4 hours later, Kagehina-stan 1 or Love Rain asks this question. Literally 7 minutes later, Mr. Kamiya reveals. How are we going today, everyone? My name is Rock and thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I have to thank Urser for initially finding this 3D object within Bayonetta's moon, and also Love Rain for taking one for the team and asking this beautiful question. Urser's socials and everyone else's are in the description below. Please subscribe to their channel. We finally got some content for Bayonetta 3 and for future games as well, so this is lore gold. This also confirms plans for Bayonetta 4 or even Bayonetta 5. So Love Rain questions Mr. Kamiya, "Good morning, Kamiya-san. What does the strange object in the moon that Balder destroyed in Bayonetta mean? Thank you very much." To which Mr. Kamiya replied, "It will be revealed in future Bayonetta series works." Heck, a confirmation of Bayonetta being a series of games thanks to one Kagehina-stan. This is it. The season 3 finale when Levi said there is one small step for humanity, and also the imitation game when they finally cracked Enigma. Well, not really, but you get what I mean, you get what I'm feeling right now. Now, the Bayonetta 3 teaser showcased us a blood moon, which is a biblical sign of the apocalypse. In the Bayoverse, it could be the sign of the second Armageddon. But this object Urser found, is it some sort of hidden technology? I initially thought it was programmer's fill, which is the term I used or I made up just then by 3D designers to fill in empty objects before they fill in the rest with texture, so that way the object has a skeletal structure. Could this object actually, we'll give it a name, the Urser flying object? Well, flying object because we don't know what it is, a pun for UFO, and also Urser is the one who uploaded it yesterday. Well, I would say he discovered it. Is it ancient Umbran technology? Is it the reason why witches get stronger during when a full moon is visible, or why they can walk on any surface without the need of gravity? Could this be a secret base of defected Umbran witches who survived the witch hunts? Shout out to Sniper Iguana. This technology in the moon, or the hollow moon, is not actually just recorded in fiction. In 1970, Michael Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov, part of the Soviet Academy of Sciences, hypothesized that the moon was a spaceship created by unknown beings or ancient celestial astronauts. The article that they published was entitled, "Is the Moon a Creation of Alien Intelligence?" Of course, just a conspiracy, but the Urser flying object could be based on this real-world conspiracy and hypothesis. Now that we got our tinfoil hats out of the way, let's move on to what it could actually be. Physical analysis. It's a giant mochi-shaped hemisphere with 4 arcs on its side and 1 gear-like ring on the bottom. I recorded Bayonetta 1 4K in 60 FPS and slowed down the moon getting destroyed and tried to compare it with Urser's findings, and my oh my, I could not believe my eyes. It's been here all along. The surface of the hemisphere has the Umbran symbol shining brightly, while being overcasted by a black color that really reminded me of a murder of crows. But when I compared it to the slowed down footage, the black shadow that we thought was a shadow seemed to have been just the debris that was ripped off from Balder's attack. The surface of the Urser flying object looks to be bronze or even golden. A bronze/golden Umbran witch logo. Now that is very sus. It really reminds me of technology or advanced or ancient, most likely ancient actually, but yeah. There is some sort of elemental logo or a symbol on the glowing Umbran witch symbol. After a lot of digging, I found out that this bears a striking resemblance to either common sun symbols in ancient times But I think it's also a reference to the Helm of Awe or the Helm of Terror. An Icelandic glyph, just like its name, is meant to instill fear and terror to those who see it. There are many historical representations or interpretations of what this could be, but I'm not going to dive into them right now. I'm going to say that this is an ancient symbol for the sun. A sun casted over the Umbran logo, or the symbol, could be linked to the lunar eclipse in Bayonetta 3. Or the Bayonetta 3 teaser. But again, let's not worry too much about the symbol. I'm just saying this has been sitting here for over 11 years, and it's thanks to Urser and Love Rain that we get to analyze this lore type of content that is canon. Now that we got those physical aspects out of the way, here are my top 3 ideas, ranging from the least believable to the most believable on what the Urser Flying Object really is. First up is the Umbran Destroyer. Balder or Balter shot an energy beam at the moon in order to make all the debris fall on John. But is this really the reason? Lopta must know what this object is and wanted to unleash it. The Umbran witches used the full moon to increase their power tenfold, while also using superhuman powers. What if Lumen Sages built a giant EMT-like weapon that instead of increasing their power, it decreases it in a painful way? The blood moon in the Bayonetta 3 teaser could be the Ursa Flying Object activated, which makes witches more vulnerable. Oh my god. It was Lopta who was controlling Balder. Being a god of chaos, he must know what that Ursa Flying Object is. Which brings me to my next point. Umbran Generator. The gear-like rings feel like they are functioning in order to produce moon magic or Umbran magic. The reason why I believe this to be the Umbran moon magic generator is because Lopter or Balter destroyed it while John arrived. Therefore, this would have prevented her from having powers being amplified to tenfold. Ultimately, I want to believe that both Lopta and Balder had no idea that this UFO existed. Just like how Annie accidentally revealed the Wall Titan in season 1 of the end credits. If it is an Umbran magic generator or amplifier, it would explain why the moon restored itself in time for Bayonetta 2. Umbran spaceship. Now, according to that 1970s Soviet conspiracy theory, it was called the Spaceship Moon, created by celestial beings, unknown beings, or even ancient astronauts. Could there be Umbran witches alive in this secret base? Could Umbran and Lumen arts have originated from the moon or even the sun before it even came to Earth? Hey, if Boruto can talk about aliens, basically in any shonen show or any type of game, anything is possible now. Again, what if there are witches who fled the witch hunts, or maybe even the clan wars, or maybe even the whole witches on Earth debacle all this time? I have to thank my good friend Sniper Iguana for coming up with this theory a few months ago. Thank you so much to you, and congratulations on being on the 52nd episode. Mr. Kamiya stated that there is a possibility for new Bayonetta games, just like the DMC series. If witches still exist, that could mean more stories, more plots, and even more games to explore. Imagine this. In Bayonetta 3 or 4, Bayonetta and John are fighting angels to see a mysterious feminine fighter who is able to use witch magic. Boom, you got a plot point where you can use to follow, which eventually leads to witches are not extinct, they are in the moon. The blood moon was potentially a signal of the witches coming down for revenge, or I don't know. There is a chain-like pattern stamped on the Umbran symbol, which could signify that this is a safe zone or a safe jurisdiction for hidden or fled Umbran witches. This is giving me some Nier Automata bunker type of vibes, to be honest. This is actually so cool. It's like NASA just released some UFO sighting on the internet, and 4chan, Reddit are trying to decipher the whole thing. This is awesome. Back to the topic. Having spatial adventures is not so far-fetched. As Rodan once saved the planet that is not Earth, or maybe it could be Earth. Well, Rodan saved the planet using Yagyu, John's giant hammer. One more point I want to say that makes me believe in this idea so much on why it's an Umbran spaceship. It was the 1970s spaceship, Apollo 11, 1969, the time when Fly Me to the Moon and Let Me Play Among the Stars was the most popular song on the radio. It could be a refuge of Umbran witches. The song in the first game was probably a signal telling us where to go. Maybe he could just be trolling. Ultimately, we finally got some lore content for future Bayonetta games that we can base our future theories off, because this is canon, this is gold. Comment down below what you think the Urser Flying Object is, and I wonder who Love Rain is. Miraken, and happy theorizing.